All right, well, when you're ready, go. Oh, fuck, that's a good start.
That's a good start, isn't it? All right, I've got some questions for you.
Mm.
Let's see what you think about them, and pretty much not allowed to laugh. Okay?
I probably will. No promises.
You're not allowed to laugh. All right. How do you make holy water?
I don't know. How?
You boil the hell out of it.
Okay.
No? Nothing there? All right.
Well, you said I wasn't allowed to laugh.
We're not allowed to laugh. You can't have to.
Next one.
Why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors?
Because otherwise it'd be called a chicken sedan.
There you go. What did the horse say when it fell over?
I don't know. What did the horse say when it fell over?
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Righto.
What do you call cheese that isn't yours?
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese! And last one for you. I thought I would have got a couple of giggles at least out of this, but all right. That's all right. What's brown and sticky?
A stick.
A stick.
You underestimate my deadpanness, my ability to have no sense of humour.
Press start.
Hey, I got one for you.
Yep.
What did the fish say when it ran into the wall?
What?
Damn!
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
No eye fish.
Nope. A fish.
Oh dear. This could go on forever.
It could.
Righto. Let's do the show. This is episode 184, and today is Tuesday, the 29th of August, 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas. I've got a name this week, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogs. How are you, buddy?
Top of the evening to you, good sir. I'm bloody fantastic.
I'm fantastic too. I'm pumped for whatever reason. I'm not on any drugs. I haven't taken any histamines or anything like that. I'm just in a good mood. I haven't even had my evening coffee yet.
No,
and nor have I had any of my drink of choice, the American honey. So I'm really just off on a natural high, having a good chat with me old mate Snoogs. So, on that top bloody note, here is the show in preview before we start, or something like that. First up, we'll do video game discussion, and then we'll do video game news. And this week's news, the top 3 I've got for you, is very Xbox oriented this week because Microsoft is spending a lot of money and getting shit out there, so we know about it. Xbox games with gold. And then we'll also got news on the Xbox One X breaking records, and another one, Game of Thrones game. And then we'll do user-created content, which we've got some cool stuff there, and then What's That Sound, and then some last words. We might have some more of those shitty jokes for you in last words. We'll see how we go. So, first up, Snoogs video game discussion.
You want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. Well, it's been, only a couple of days since we last recorded, but
yes, it is early in the week.
I was on holidays.
Yes, you were.
So I got to play a few things. But the first thing I actually want to kick off with, you and I have spoken many times, and I think I've actually spoken about it on the podcast as well. My wife's not a very big gamer.
No, same.
But I saw a different side of her on the weekend.
Ooh, what game are we talking?
You wouldn't think it. Okay, so fired up the Xbox because my eldest, who is only 5, but she wanted to just have a go of something. You know, right. She just wanted to play a game with Daddy. You know, so like, all right, no worries. We'll have a look at this. And once so fired up the Xbox because that's out in the lounge room, and got into the Gamer Pass from Microsoft. And went looking through, and because she's so young, I didn't really want anything too difficult. But I just thought, something basic, easy controls. It's not a very easy game, but it's basic enough for her. I chucked Alex the Kid on.
Oh, you asshole of a father!
Oh, there was no reason. It's not like I was trying to compete against her. It was just to get her to use the controls to move and drop down, and watch out. You got to watch out for the bugs or from the eagles flying.
She'd have beat you anyway.
Oh, she would have, yeah.
I've seen you play that game.
That's beside the point. But the funny bit. So my wife comes into the lounge room. What are you guys doing in here? Because my daughter's laughing and carrying on and making a bit of noise. What are you going on in here? Sees what's on the TV. Oh my God, I remember this game. Gets down and she's sitting down next to my daughter. And she's looking at the controller and she's looking at the TV. And then she's like, oh, no, you got to watch out for that. No, you got to go this. Oh, just give it here. And took it off her.
Oh, video games bringing the family together. That's so cool.
Yeah, she's like, I remember this. And she wanted to have a quick go and, talk about rage-inducing.
Oh, nice. The missus raging now. She knows what it's like.
So that was brilliant. I hope she doesn't some storm in here and yell at me in a second. But so that was quite a bit of fun. And she's literally took the controller out of my daughter's hands. No, look, I'll show you what you got to do, and you got to go here and you got to do this. And she actually did quite well. It was just good to watch. And I thought I'd share that with everyone.
That's awesome. Well, you bringing that up has actually reminded me about a similar experience I had with my wife with Sonic Mania that's come out recently. I was playing Sonic Mania the day it came out. I don't think I shared this. I completely forgot about it. It was that much of a memorable moment for me. No, just kidding. It was cool. I was playing Sonic Mania, and because it looks pretty much identical to the first game that came out, the Sonic the Hedgehog game, my wife, Rachel, she come in, she goes, oh, is this Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm like, yeah, it's old, but it's new. This is the new one. She's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. It was really cool. She actually picked up the second controller and played as Tails with me, which was really cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so we played it a little bit. And I ended up playing with Emily as well, my daughter. She come and play after she finished school. She came and had a go with me as well. And it's those old school games that bring a fair bit of cool stuff out with people that aren't really gamers in their adult life, because they probably did play some form of video game when they were kids. So when there's like a nostalgia element with those kind of games that, games that are actually pretty decent to still play today, like Alex Kidd and Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, brings people
even
together.
though they are, even though something like Alex Kidd is hard, it's still very basic. You just use a D-pad to move. You've got one button to jump, one button to punch, and that's all you need to worry about.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the next one. Jump back into a game that I'm trying to platinum at the moment. I've already been through it twice already, but still just playing through now. It's a game called Enigmatus. Now, it's part 2, The Ghosts of Ravenwood. Now, Enigmatus, we've got a review up for both parts 1 and 2, and it's a trilogy. And what happens is you're a detective that's trying to find in the original, trying to find a lost girl, and you end up find up who's got her, and there's this whole there's a mystical twist to the story. I don't really want to delve into it too much, but it pretty much grabbed me from start to finish, and I had to play its way through it. It's not really like anything. It's a point and click hidden item puzzle game.
Yeah, you've talked about this before too.
I have
off the show, but just with me.
Yeah. So the reason I'm still going through it is the story is just intense. For something that is so basic and compared to these big adventure games that we play, this is literally a moving artwork, like a moving picture. So you'll go to a section and you'll look at a door in number 2, for instance. You'll look at a door and then there'll be a black slot in the door, and eyes will just come across and it'll just sort of move across. into it, and there'll be someone there, and then they'll talk to you through the door, and it's all voice acted, so it's all very professionally done. It's not just subtitles that come up on the screen you got to read through. It's all voice acted. The world sounds alive, but it doesn't actually move. It's just like you're looking at a piece of artwork that's got little bits of movement here and there, but you've got full noise and full interaction just in the story. And what you have to do, you'll take 2 steps forward, and then you'll have to go back. You'll get stuck with another puzzle that needs a certain thing, and you'll have to go back 3 steps to find that thing, because another section of the game has opened up that you can go off in another direction and go and find another hidden puzzle. And in that section, you can just you go and hunt for parts that you then put together to then use over here. And it's really engrossing for something so basic, so much so that, like I said, I think it's my 3rd or 4th playthrough that I'm going through to get through to the platinum.
You're selling it very well. Sounds good. I like it. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking why they don't make Where's Wally games like this.
Well, it is very similar. You've got to sort of have a look at a flat puzzle on the screen and try and look at it in depth. Yeah, you've got to try and realise what's sitting behind something and move something to make something else. And
let me know if I've got this down pat as to how the game works. Is it sort of like there's a storyline that'll be like, okay, we need to go from point A to point B. Before we go, though, I need to get these things, and then you need to find the things that are on the list within this room. And, you might need to take your watch. I'm obviously making up a scenario here, but I need to take my watch, I need to take my car keys, I need to take my wallet, I need to take my hat, and blah, blah, blah. And then you got to go and find those things within the scenario. Is that kind of how it works? Yeah.
Well, to actually take apart from this game, what do we do? You go into this part like I've gone blank.
Sounds good.
Yeah. No, like a natural park, just a parklands. It's got a certain section where it used to have log cutting cabins and everything. But at the front of it, anyway, there's a gate. You go through the gate. On one side, there's a newspaper container. Those newspaper containers you see on the side in old movies on the side of the road, where you put a coin in, open it up,
like a
take
vending
the
machine, but the honesty thing. You open it up after putting your coin, you take your paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have a look inside there, and there's something in there that's not a paper. That's actually something you need, but you don't have a coin to open it up.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So you've got to
go.
So
you rob a hobo.
You can't kick a bum. So you go into this house inside, and you go rummaging through the house, and then you find this coin. So then you've got to go back out the front, which is just a couple of steps back. You go and put this coin in, opens up, you get this thing, and then that thing helps you open up something else. And so you just sort of go. You've got to keep in mind what you've done so that you can figure out what you have to do.
Right.
It's actually really cool. Like I said, for something so simple, it really gets the mind going, and I just enjoy it. I've got a couple of games like that now that I've been playing through. And
what are you playing this on?
PS4.
Oh, it's on the PS4.
Yeah. Company by the name of Artifacts Mundi, I believe. I hope I'm saying that right.
Enigmatis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what it's like on Steam, because I'd like to play this keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it's on
just mouse.
It's on Steam. They're starting to come out on the consoles now.
Oh, there's like 100,000 of them.
Oh, there's so many different.
Which one are you playing?
Part 2, The Ghosts of Ravenwood.
Ghosts of Ravenwood.
So there's part 1.
You mean the Mists of Ravenwood?
Mists of Ravenwood?
Because there's the Ghosts of Maple Creek. And there's the Mists of Ravenwood.
Ghosts of Maple Creek's the first one. Sorry, yep. I've got them both mixed up.
Okay, so the Mists of Ravenwood. $10 US.
Yeah. Not much more than that on PlayStation.
Or you could buy the Enigmatus Collection Bundle for $24.87 US, and you get 3 things in that. What is it? Go into it. Open it up. Show me. Oh, no. I'm getting The Ghost of Maple Creek, Enigmatus 2, Mists of Ravenwood, and The Shadow of Kakala.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So saving about $5 US.
You play as the detective through all of them. You've got in both. They all sort of tie together, and well, obviously it's a trilogy. So it's just the story is absolutely brilliant, and that's what holds it.
Yeah. So Artifacts Mundi is the developer and publisher.
Yep. Brilliant group of people. I think they're Finnish.
Well, yeah, the game's out, so yeah, definitely.
Not Stardish, yeah. But, more of those terrible jokes. Yeah, so that's one I've been having a bit more of a playthrough. Back into the Division. Oh, that stuff's my crack.
I beg your pardon?
It's the Division. It's my crack.
I thought you meant it stuffs your crack, as in like puts things in your crack, like a stocking stuffer, except into your crack. You're like, dude, that's not where the disc goes.
That's not right.
Reader error.
So yeah, I was just, but like I said last week, I don't have a lot of good things to say about the update because it's pretty much just slowed things down. But I still enjoy it because I still enjoy the gameplay. I still enjoy getting on there. You know, I haven't played with any of our regular group that we used to play with all the time. I've got a couple of different people from different Division groups on Facebook that anytime I'm on, they jump in with me. Or I jump in with randoms, and you've got 4 people all in game chat, all having a good time and running through it. So it's just a good communal event now.
Hey, Snoogs, you love the Division, don't you?
I do.
I've got a trivia question for you. What video game engine does it use?
No idea.
Oh, close. That's so close. It's Snowdrop.
Snowdrop,
yeah.
That would explain it, being there's that much snow in it.
Yeah. There you go. Anything else? What else have you been playing?
Dying Light. So I've had a bit more of a run through that.
Dying Light. Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege. That's another sort of go-to. I'm going to have a quick talk again about the Relentless controller.
Oh, tell me about that bloody controller.
That turned up last week.
Well, no, mine's the bloody controller, isn't it?
It's yours is the bloody one, yes.
Yes.
Mine's just red.
Yes.
But mate, I tell you what, I was always very much against the whole idea of a pro controller, or we'll use the name that everyone knows, a scuff controller.
The cheats controller.
Yeah, well, I didn't really think that there was all that much difference. But now that I've got one, oh my god, well, my Siege game has turned on its head.
Well, the big thing is you never have to take your right thumb off the aiming stick, which is what you would normally need to do to press buttons. Yeah,
well, so the way that I've got it set up, because I've got the Elite sticks in it and the Pro triggers. So the Pro triggers, there's no lag whatsoever. It's just a click of the trigger. It's like clicking a mouse, and it's instantaneous. And that is one thing where I don't deny my reaction time is a little bit slower than it used to be.
That happens. Anything to do with the fact that you're 102?
Well, it might be. It might have a bit that it takes a little bit. That, or just because I'm so tall, it takes a little while for the message to get there.
Yeah, like what do you call it? A giraffe.
Yes, exactly.
What the fuck am I on?
I don't know, but it's working. But yeah, so the Pro triggers are just absolutely fantastic. They take that millisecond away. I've got, with the Elite stick set up, I've got one stick, which is the left-hand side, is standard sort of size, maybe a little bit higher than standard. On the right-hand side, which is your aiming, I've got a taller stick.
Now, their Xbox One... what's that controller? The Elite controller sticks, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I've never seen an Elite in person.
Well, the sticks on the standard sticks on a standard Xbox One controller are ever so slightly taller than the PlayStation 4 controller, right?
Yep.
So what you've probably got on that left stick is a standard height for an Xbox One controller, and then on the right-hand side it's probably a little bit taller to increase the amount of torque. This is what they say. Taller sticks gives you an increased amount of torque, which means... I don't know. What does that mean? What does it do for you?
Well, it's precise movements.
More precise movements.
Yeah. And when you really sort of push it to a side, like you move quickly, it just seems to move a lot quicker. It's because I think it's just, you've got that instant movement. It feels a lot quicker and a lot more precise.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Which is fantastic. So I'm having a bit more of a burn with that. I know I said I'd have it up before. I'd have the review up before last week's show, but I'm just putting a bit more time into playing it with it and getting used to it before I've given a full rundown of its features and how much fun I've been having with it.
And I can't wait to get my hands on it when you're done with it and give it a bit of a burl myself.
Exactly.
And it's completely wireless.
It is. It's fantastic.
And these are genuine. Brilliant. These are genuine PlayStation controllers, aren't they? They're just modded, right?
Exactly right, mate.
And if I can quote you or indirectly quote you from last week, they're modded, but they don't feel modded.
You'd expect that the quality that this thing has, you would have thought that it come out of the box with the PlayStation, with the PlayStation itself.
That's an important thing because there's one thing to buy. You can buy genuine, and genuine PlayStation controller is beautiful. You come out of the packet, they feel all nice. They're nice and solid and all that sort of stuff. You buy one of those $30 cheapies, which I've been tempted to do just to see what the quality's like, but they look plasticky. They creak. They probably don't connect properly. And you're getting something cheap in imitation because it's not genuine. But then there's the next step, which is genuine but modded, and you think, you could destroy the integrity of the controller by cutting holes in it, adding bits and pieces. It might not go back together again. But you're wrapped in it. You reckon it's brilliant.
Oh, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Well,
I can't talk it up enough. I was skeptical. I am very skeptical about anything that's modded, and every skerrick of skepticism has been taken away.
Oh, there you go. What else, Snoogs?
Let them know we've sent you, and they'll
tell them where you come from.
Yeah, tell them where you come from. Let you know where you hear it from, and hopefully they'll be sure to look after it and put the love into it that they've obviously done. It's obviously something that's very dear to their hearts. So we had a bit of a play of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky's
on my list. I did play that with you, Snoogs.
We thought we'd jump in because there was this rumour of multiplayer, which there doesn't seem to be.
It doesn't seem to be. If it is, it's fucking hidden.
Yeah, it's somewhere there. But anyway, jump back in. Got a bit of a help while I was streaming and started to actually make a bit of headway away from where I was originally. And now that there's that little story that's put in, it really seems to open up the world. So I've been able to build a warp drive that's able to jump between galaxies. I'm going to new areas and trying out new things and sort of seeing new creatures and starting to really sort of open up what the game's all about and finding the trail that's been left by something else that's wanting me to follow it. So yeah, I'll keep plugging away and start to see what it's a bit about now. And I've got one more.
Oh, hang on. Before we go, I have to play this. I have to play this.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
No.
don't know what that's from, go onto YouTube and search up "Welcome to No Man's Sky" Jurassic Park parody.
It's well worth the watch. It doesn't look like that anymore. It's a lot more fun, but
it is. It's better than that. It only goes for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry, Snoogs.
No, you're right, mate. So last thing on my list is something that you don't even know about.
Oh,
I haven't had a chance to speak to you since this came on. So last Friday, a new game was released. And a massive shout out goes to the guys down at Bandai Namco because they've sent through a copy of F1 2017 to review.
Ooh, lucky you!
I know. I'm humbled by it. It's fantastic that I get to review it. F1 is the pinnacle of racing anywhere in the world, and the F1 games themselves really ooze all that technical advantages that F1 on the track has. It has in the game. The biggest issue is I fancy myself as a bit of a racer. I've got a steering wheel set up, and I've been pretty much every racing game I can get my hands on, I get my hands on it. But the F1 games are just a completely different beast because F1 itself at its core is a completely different beast. You go from say Project Cars where you're pretty much racing in sedans for most of the time. So, the way to drive a sedan is, flat stick down the straight, come up to a corner, you jump on the brakes before the corner, down through the gears, off the brakes, drive it through the corner, and then flat stick out the other side.
Whereas Formula One, it's like a slot car. It's fucking connected to the track, basically.
Basically, because you've got so much downforce, you're driving with you're pretty much driving with the accelerator more, so it's a completely different beast. If you jump on the brakes before the corner, everyone just goes past you.
Yeah, okay.
And you've got to drive. Everything happens quicker because the cars are so much quicker. So you're going up through the gears, and you're not going up to 6th gear, you're going up to 8th, and you've got to pop up through the gears really quickly. You've got your DRS zones where you've got to make sure that as soon as you cross that little line, you're hitting the right button so the DRS opens up, so you can still get down that. You don't have someone behind you who's got the DRS open that's going to overtake you. It opens the back wing up slightly so it gets more top end speed, pretty much.
Oh,
I can't remember what it actually stands for, but that's what it does.
Okay, well, let me look it up. DRS Formula One.
Yep.
It stands for Drag Reduction System.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the game itself, you come on as the driver number 2 in a team. You get to pick which team you want, but each team has a different level of expectation for you. So someone like, Red Bull Racing or McLaren or Formula One or Ferrari, sorry.
Yeah.
They obviously want you to be finishing up near the top end of the field. They want you to spend a certain amount of money each year on improvements and enhancements in the car and your research. So I've gone, because I do know that I do struggle with Formula One games, I've gone and picked the Sauber racing team, which pretty much just has a expectation of improve. So my first couple of practice sessions at Albert Park in Melbourne, I'm about 3 seconds off the pace, but it feels like I'm going really quick until you start to see the other times coming in. I don't have the difficulty set all that high, and I'm still using, the assists pretty much set on, medium to low, depending on what they are. But you come into the team, you get full control over the car. You can pick what setup you want. When you go and do your practice sessions, they've got certain things they want you to hit. So whether they want you to do 3 laps with the super soft tyres on, they want you to do a lap hitting all all the markers in certain corners so they can pick which corners you're having trouble at so that you can then focus on those corners next time you go out. And it's really in depth, and it's really a game that is for the F1 fans.
You sound like you like it.
I do enjoy it. It doesn't enjoy me. Because the wheel that I've got's got force feedback on it. It makes a stupid amount of noise because, sedan racing comes into mind for me when you're going through a corner, there's, you get to a point where you're on the limit and you hit the ripple strip on the middle, and it will actually slide you out you sort of get that understeer through a corner, and it actually works for you. Problem is when you hit it with an F1 car, the whole thing vibrates. It tries to kick its ass out. It doesn't really like you. So it's a whole lot of fun, but it's ridiculously in depth, and it's not something that you can pick up, go and say, you know what, I've got half an hour, I'm going to go for a race. If you're going to do a race, you have to put aside pretty much the night because you've got 2 practice sessions, a qualifying session. Like, you can skip all these, but you miss out on that experience.
Yeah.
And if you skip them, you're starting at the back of the field.
Right, yeah, of course.
And because of the level, like I said, I've got mine set on easy at the moment, and I'm knowing because I am in the Sauber, I'm in a team that's not near the front of the grid, that doesn't have that hasn't got the technical advantages that someone like Ferrari has for that just straight out top end speed. I've got to push even harder and try and grow consistently through the year. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, nice.
So get another one there for you out of the ballpark.
Well, the only thing I have to do with Formula One was one day I was sitting around the home, I think I had an afternoon shift coming up and had not much to do, and there was a TV show on called Senna.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a documentary, and I got hooked watching it to the point where I ended up recording it so I could watch the rest of it, and watched it. That's actually a really cool documentary on Ayrton Senna, one of the greats of Formula One.
Well, and, in Formula One 2017, you can actually race Ayrton Senna's cars.
Ah, there you go.
So it's got the historic Formula One stuff, or the retro, or whatever you want to call it, so different things.
Yeah.
Where you can actually use the old H pattern if you've got that shifter.
Oh, yeah.
You can use the H pattern, whereas now it's all just paddles.
It's Tiptronic, yeah.
Yeah. And if you race in Ayrton Senna's car, you realise how insane that man was.
Yeah, he was nuts, but he was young, dumb, and confident.
He was an absolute brilliant driver, but
absolutely.
You go from one of, like, the 2017 Red Bull car, which you can pick and race in just a standard setup. So you go from one of the brand new cars with a stupid amount of downforce, and you go into this thing and it feels quicker, and it's got no downforce, and it's just absolutely insane to drive. These, the people that were driving them back in the day, even the guys that are driving now, they're nuts.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts.
Yeah, but if anyone that's
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, anyone that's a massive fan of Formula One, I recommend watching that Ayrton Senna. I think it's just called Senna.
Yes.
I would say probably one of the best documentaries on one of the best Formula One racing drivers that the world has seen. So, yeah, check it out. All right,
very
man.
Much so.
What else?
That's it for me, mate. So it's I've crammed a bit in over the last couple of days, but it's been a bit of fun too.
Yeah, it sounds like you've done more than me. I've been busy with work and all that. But I've played, moving on to me, I've played a little bit more of The Evil Within.
Nice.
And I think I mentioned it last week, did I?
You did. You picked it up for an absolute steal.
Yeah, $7.50. I don't know if it's still on sale. Have a look on your Xbox One if you want to pick it up. But look, what I really have to say about it, if I were to review this game, I would have to say, look, it's a decent game with so much
potential.
Thank you. That's the word I. Whoops, that's me camera. Me microphone. So much potential, but it's just massively let down by the worst performance I've ever experienced. And it's not an Xbox One issue, because I've also played this game before on the PlayStation 4, and it's pitiful on there. I've done Google searches and found that even people on PC are scratching their head going, what the fuck is wrong with this game? I just don't get it. It's Bethesda. Bethesda are renowned for making buggy as shit games, but not performance-wise. Usually it's just crashes and weird bugs in the game. But The Evil Within runs like shit. The frame rate is garbage. It's got to be 15 to 20 frames. The graphics don't look anywhere near anything that would make the Xbox One struggle. I don't understand personally why, even on an Xbox One, this doesn't run at 1080 and 60. I don't get it. I don't understand, because it doesn't look like it's that tolling. I think it's just a shit game engine that they've used. It's not optimized whatsoever. The game itself, take away the actual performance issues, I'm actually enjoying it. It's not a bad game. Like, it's got some really neat features, like but the enemies, you need to blow their fucking head off, otherwise they're going to keep coming. And the only way to guarantee that they're not going to get up again is to set the fuckers on fire. And you get a limited amount of matches, so you can set them on fire and they disappear. But if you don't, you leave their corpses on the ground, there's a chance they may resurrect and come after you again. So I think that's a neat little feature for any game to have. So I like that. And like the gameplay itself is pretty well good. It is scary. There are jump scares. It's creepy as shit. There's like weird, like ghostly things that go on. There's a lot of mental stuff that's going on that makes you feel like your character's going mad. It seems like it's got a really good concept behind it. It's just massively let down by performance. They've announced that The Evil Within 2 is in production, is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
All they really need to do is just make sure it runs better. Just make sure it runs properly. Even if it ran at 30,
engine, yeah.
30 frames a second, it'd be fine. But it doesn't even run at 30, mate. It's rubbish. And it has those black bars across the top, so it's not even 720. Actually, I might just Google it, find out what it is. What resolution does The Evil Within run at? Let's see if Google can help me with this. Uses a 16:9 aspect ratio within a 4:3 resolution. Yeah, see, that's piss weak. I don't know what the sort of P 1080 720, because it'd be a weird resolution. It'd be like fucking 590 or something. Let's have a look here, see if we've got. It's within a. Okay, so Xbox One is 1600 by 640.
Shit.
Yeah. The PlayStation 4 only runs it at 1920 by 768. Yeah, so I told you it'd be a bizarre one. It's because of those letterbox bars at the top and bottom. They do that and they claim, it's cinematic.
Cinematic feel, yeah.
But really what they're actually doing is removing some of the screen that needs to be rendered to increase performance. So what they've essentially done is taken a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is your normal old school TVs, like that squarish shape, and have squashed that out to 16:9. So they've taken 4:3 and put letterbox bars at the top to make it 16:9. So the game is running the smallest, most ridiculous resolution and still can't manage to be a decent frame rate. So look, it's plagued with issues. The game's a couple of years old now, and even with all the updates that I would assume they've given it, it still doesn't get any better than when I played it years ago. So, massive disappointment. I remember playing it for the first time at the EB Games Expo, and it was running like shit. But I can't remember if I made up the excuse for them or if they gave us this excuse that the consoles that we've been playing them on have been running all weekend, they're overheated, and they're not working properly.
Yeah.
It's not the case, because my consoles aren't running all weekend at home. It's just a really shitty quality of game. But the game itself deserves a better engine. It should be better. So because of that reason, I won't write off The Evil Within 2. And I'm going to try and push through the first one, but it's a bit painful.
Well, apparently the story does really take off, and it will grab a hold of you. I never I never picked it up originally. And just haven't really bothered with it all that much. Yeah,
look, it's not something I would recommend. Put it that way. All right, I'll move on. Played some Gears of War 4 this week.
Very nice.
Believe it. I played it with Stick Figure. He tweeted me the other night, or he tweeted out to everybody and just said, anyone keen for some Gears of War 4? And I thought, you know what, I'm not ready to go to bed. Yeah, let's do it. So I jumped on with Stick. He's from Down Under Gaming. If you don't know who they are, look them up on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, search for Xbox and Chill. And I played a few games with him. We did a live stream. It was like a co-stream with Mixer. Check us out on Mixer. I haven't been using the Aussie Gamers Express Mixer because I don't really know how to. I've just been going stream now, and I think it just streams out under Luke 1. I think it just logs in under my Microsoft account. So Luke 1 on Mixer. I do some live streaming, and quite often with Stick Figure. But yeah, played some of that. We played the multiplayer. I sucked like balls, man. I'm so bad at it. But the thing is, when I co-stream with Stick Figure, it's basically like a live podcast, because we just end up talking about current trends in video games and talking about stuff. So it's actually pretty cool for a listen. The gameplay, rubbish. Actually, I said it during the stream. I said, you come for the gameplay, but you stay for the conversation. Definitely not for the gameplay, because I was getting my ass kicked and did very poorly. But it's good for a laugh.
So were you doing PvP or Horde mode?
PvP, yeah, we're doing PvP. That's why I was shit. And there was some lag as well. I will blame some lag. 98% of it was me being shit, but there was some lag where I would go up with the Nasher, the shotgun, and put 3 shots into this guy's head, and there's no blood splatter whatsoever, and then I get killed. That's lag. So there was a little bit of lag. I don't know what that was all about, because we had good connections. But anyway. So yeah, Gears of War 4, that was fun. I actually decided to download or install Gears of War 4 on my other console, because I wanted to do some capture of it. So installing it from a fresh install, the game off the disc is about 43 gigabytes. And the update is about 43 gigabytes. I don't know what's going on there. I think they literally just remade the game. And your disc is your key to download it. I don't know. Very silly. But massive, massive download. Even though you've got the disc version, it's still going to take 40-odd gigabytes to get it running online. So that sucked. But yeah, that was Gears of War 4. No Man's Sky. We already talked about that. It's very colourful. Very explorative. Very No Man's Sky still. I didn't really notice a lot other than the way it looked. Here's a weird one. Have you heard of the game called The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle?
I have. I saw a video I think you posted.
Yeah, I put up the trailer. Look, it's a point-and-click adventure game, and You are Bertram Fiddle. You work at a soap manufacturing company. And you like your little adventures, a little bit of sleuthing. And there's a mystery behind your boss. He's doing something a little bit dodgy in the background, which I think is fucking everybody's boss these days. And you get hired, I think, by either his missus or his mum to try and work out what the fuck is going on with your boss. Now, when I was playing this, I'm notoriously bad at point-and-click adventure games. Because, think outside the box to try and work out puzzles and all that sort of stuff. I usually think way too far outside the box. And it's really simple.
What's that big one that everyone raved about? That was PS Plus with the Revenge of the Tentacle or...
Oh, yeah. Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah.
Some of the bloody puzzles in that, I've gotten to a point where I have to use a guide.
Well, that's
I've got no idea.
Therein lies my problem. When I was playing this game, because it was episode 2, it's not released yet. So it was under embargo.
Oh, okay, yep.
I don't have any access to any guides. It did my head in. I was like, what do I do? I have to get into this safe. There's a PIN code. It's a 4-number PIN code, and I need to get ink out of the safe to put inside this machine so I can ink my card so I can get let out of the... It's like a time card, punching in, punching off. Otherwise, they won't let me out at the gate. But so I can't for the life of me work out where the ink is. And the sad thing is, it's only about 10 minutes into the friggin' game. I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, oh. YouTube and shit, hoping some arsehole's broken the embargo. But no, there's nothing. I suck at them. I don't know what to do. I think it's released now, hence me talking about it. I might go back and see if I can find a guide and get through it, because it did my bloody well head in. If you think you're good at those kind of games, it's got good personality, this game. Good voice acting as well. But bloody hell, it did my head in because I'm shit at them. But that's the Adventures of Bertram Fiddle. Episode
it definitely
2.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, but I didn't know what to bloody do anyway. Last thing on my list is a bit of Destiny. I've played a little bit more Destiny, did some grinding to try and level up, and I went from light level 308 to 308.
So it was a good grind, was it?
It was a fantastic grind, yeah, it was good fun. To, earn nothing. I fucking hope Destiny 2 is not like that. I want Destiny 2 to be more like Diablo 3. Just fucking give me everything. I want so much shit that I'm throwing away exotics. I don't know. It just gets a little bit tiring playing the game for no reward. You got to play it so much. Less grind, more story. Thank you, Destiny 2, and I'll be happy. But that's it. That's all I've got. Yeah, that's all I played this week, really. I haven't even played any mobile games. Actually, here's a mobile thing that I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Stop the Pop.
Actually, before you jump into that,
yeah,
I found a little something today that I'm going to have a look at and see just how valid it is. But if it's any good, you will have seen it come up on the page already. But you can catch up on Destiny, the world of Destiny, the lore of Destiny, ahead of the sequel. So there's been a YouTuber out there that I don't have all the details because I've only just got a little snippet of it. They've put together a 90-minute video that gives you a complete rundown on Destiny. So if you're someone that's really enjoyed it, but you just want to catch up on the lore, or you haven't played the first one but you're looking at getting into the second one, it's probably a good place to start, so you can get a bit of the story and a bit of the background beforehand.
Hang on. 90 minutes on Destiny, the story. So there's about 13 seconds explaining the story, and there's a fucking shit ton of credits on who put the video together or something?
Oh, well, that's the thing. It's got the lore, so it probably goes into all the Grimoire cards and all the expansions, and because the expansion's actually added to the story. So I think I can go pretty in depth.
I think I can explain the story. Right, so there's a thing called the Traveller, and no, it's not a long elongated meat pie. It's a big Earth-looking thing. It's scared, and the Guardians come, which are these superpowered beings. They're either robots, they're either humans, or something else. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And you get together and you fight the baddies, and then eventually everything's fucked. That's the story. Done. Cue Destiny 2 to fix up and fill in the blanks.
Okay.
I think I nailed it. I think I nailed Destiny 1.
Sounds like a good rundown.
Oh, and then add $40 for an expansion. I don't know what happened in that. We just added more grind.
More grind.
Nothing happened. It's. I felt like playing Destiny was just grinding my way through fucking Lord of the Rings movies.
I really should have jumped in at day one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's a fun game though. That's why.
I had so many people asking, you got to jump in, but I just wasn't interested in first-person shooters at the time.
Yeah, it's just a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Just a fucked story. That's all.
All right. Yeah, your mobile game. Sorry about the interruption there.
I'll have to watch that video you're talking about. It does sound cool. Yeah, Stop the Pop. It's actually really cool. Like it's a platformer, and you play as a corn kernel, and not colonel as in someone from the army or whatever is like a kernel, Kernel. You're like a little piece of corn, and you've got legs and eyes and a mouth, and you need to stop the pop. So you're running across the level. And across the level, there's like hot oil and shit splattered everywhere and heat. Mm-hmm. And if you heat up too much, your character like goes, "Ah!" and turns into a popcorn and you die.
Okay.
So you need to stop the pop. And then like you can cool yourself down and shit to reduce your heat so you don't turn into popcorn.
I'm having a look for this.
That's a fucking stupid game. It's fucking good though. It's worth playing, but and a good concept, real good concept, but real silly. I like it. There you go. That's it. That's all I've got. So, let me have a look at my schedule. We're up to video game news.
All right, cool. Time for the news.
Okay, first up in the news, we've got Xbox Games with Gold. It's not often that we get Xbox Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus and all that sort of stuff in the actual news, but this week there was shit news, so you're getting it. Tough. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually worthy. Xbox Games with Gold for September. We don't have PlayStation stuff yet. Maybe next week. So here's what we're getting, and some commentary, if you will. Forza 5, September 1 to 30. What do you reckon?
Got it.
Yeah, I've got it too.
It's too old.
Forza 6 would have been nice. Now that 7's around the corner.
5's just a little... It's fantastic and it's aged beautifully, but it's... Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got it for free with my Xbox.
Same.
Yeah, when I bought it.
I got 6 free with my Xbox.
Oh, did you? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The next one, Oxenfree, which is September 16 to October 15. That actually looks really cool. Looks like a side-scrolling point-and-click adventure game with really cool.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about that. That's what I'm actually really looking forward to. Yeah.
This is a game that was on my radar before it was released. And I remember watching it thinking, geez, the voice acting in this is fantastic. The voice acting in it is akin to Firewatch.
Yep.
It's got really, really good voice acting, but it dropped off my radar.
I think it actually came out about the same time as Firewatch.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it just dropped off my radar and I'd forgotten about it, never really heard anything about it again. And the name didn't stick with me, so I completely forgot what it was called. But now that I've seen it again with this new announcement, I'm excited for that because it looked great. So,
yeah.
Oxenfree.
I've actually, another podcast that I used to listen to, I don't listen to them anymore because they've kind of dropped off the radar a bit.
No, you're just a podcast that I used to know.
Yeah. They said Oxenfree as one, like, when they did the Game of the Year show, that was actually someone's Game of the Year.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So
Possibly might have if it was on my radar. Might have made it. Yeah, so Oxenfree is free September 16th and until October 15th. Get it out, Lucas. Then we've got Hydro Thunder Hurricane, September 1 till 15. That's a 360 back compat. And Battlefield 3, September 16 to 30. Are you wetting yourself for Hydro Thunder Hurricane?
Never heard of it.
No, me neither. It just looks like a boat racing game. Whatever. Yeah. Moving on. Yep. Battlefield 3, September 16 to 30. Are you interested?
I'm pretty sure I've already got it on EA Access.
Battlefield 3? I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. I might be wrong. I know, like, Battlefield Bad Company 2 is on EA Access, but I don't think Battlefield 3 is.
I thought it was just put on a little while ago. Either way, no, I'm not pitching for it.
Battlefield 3 EA Access. Let's have a look. No. Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Recently.
Yeah, it's only recently gone on there.
Earlier this month, Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield 3 received backwards compatibility on Xbox One. Now they're both available on EA Access for £3.99 a month. There you go. Have you noticed, going off topic, if you go to the PlayStation store right now, and you know that it's got the 15 for 12? Imagine that, 12 for 15, that'd suck. The special at the moment... 15
months for the price of 12, yes.
Yeah, and it's like $69. But if you go into the description box below and scroll down, it refers to the pricing in pounds.
Oh.
Yeah. PlayStation Australia fucked up with the copy and paste on that one. We use dollar signs in Australia. Good on ya. Battlefield 3, regardless, if you don't have EA Access, you'll have that for free between the 16th of September till the 30th, and it has a cool co-op mode, which is probably worth giving a go. There you go, that's Xbox games with gold for September. And we'll probably have PlayStation stuff maybe next week. All right, next up in the news, more Xbox stuff. As I said, Microsoft are really pushing their shit at the moment and doing really well. Xbox One X sales record. According to a post on Xbox Wire, more Xbox One X Project Scorpio Edition console were pre-ordered in the first 5 days than any Xbox before. I don't find that hard to believe, do you?
No. It has exploded, absolutely exploded. The best thing I think they could do, there was a lot of, not so much backlash, but murmurs and complaints about the name, the One X. So to actually come out and have it as this Project Scorpio, because let's be honest, that's kind of cool.
It's better than One X.
Yeah, so to actually have, oh no, I don't have a One X. I've got a project, like I've got a Scorpio.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. It really is. And so, and to be honest with you, if, like I've said it before, if the Xbox was my primary console, I'd have one.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, same.
Yeah, if it was my primary, where at the moment I'm on the PS4 probably 4 or 5 nights a week.
Well, mind you, I've been on the Xbox more than the PlayStation lately.
Yeah, it comes and goes in waves, but generally the PlayStation's what I spend majority of the time on. But yeah, I think it's fantastic, and it's the big thing and the big bit of confidence that it fills me with is because there is so much hype over it. Maybe Microsoft Studios has got, a little bit more in the background to actually show us, to actually have this console, the next big exclusive that's coming out. The next big thing that's going to absolutely blow our minds. That's, people who have Xbox are going to be able to sit there and go, nerd, we can only play this, you can't, sort of. We kind of have that moment with, Uncharted or God of War coming out or anything like that, where we can sort of go, no, you can't play this. This is a PlayStation thing. To be able to do that with an Xbox One would be absolutely fantastic.
Do you reckon Scalebound's going to come back?
I have a feeling it's already somewhere.
They're going to go, you know how we stopped making Scalebound for your console because it was a bag of shit? Do you reckon we could come and make it for your Xbox One X?
I think it'll pop up somewhere else.
Nintendo Switch?
No, I've got a feeling that Sony's already got the rights to it, and it's just a matter of timing now. So whether there's always that sort of thing. Once you part ways with a company, you can't go and do the same thing for another 12 months, like with a competitor. There'll be something like that in place, and yeah, it'll be 12, 18 months. I reckon we'll see it rear its head again.
Oh, and here's a prediction for you: Crackdown 3, PlayStation 4 edition, the delayed edition.
The delayed.
All right. So anyway, I've got a little bit more in here. So Microsoft said it saw record-breaking sell-out times for the console, which is currently sold out in many countries. Microsoft originally budgeted for the Xbox One X to sell out within a week. It sold out in one day.
It sold out in a matter of hours.
Well, that's it, yeah. And on that note, Microsoft has also officially canned the manufacture of the original Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Not really very hard to outsell the original Xbox One, because I think the sales figures were, I don't know, how many Xbox One X's were there? Like a couple of mil that pre-ordered?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think
something like that.
Not hard for the Xbox One X to outsell the original Xbox One, which I think sales figures sat at around 9.
There's been enough dirt slung at the original Xbox.
Yeah, we'll give them a break. Oh fuck, man! But mind you, Microsoft fanboys are smashing the PlayStation at the moment.
Yeah, well, good on
Twitter. On Twitter, I suppose.
Good
PlayStation deserves it, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's the old tall poppy syndrome too. The PlayStation's out in front at the moment, but the Xbox One X, it's full of promise, and I, for one, I don't deny I'm much more slanted towards the PlayStation because, my first job was started solely so that I could buy a PS1. Back in the mid-90s, that's where it started, and it just kept going all the way through. I've had the Xbox One. I like the original Xbox. I didn't get the 360, but I had access to one, and now I've got my own Xbox One. But mate, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what it'll do. I can't wait to see what it does for the brand in itself. I'm really excited for what Microsoft and just what Microsoft is doing in general. They're really working hard to please. Really, it's actually fantastic. So
I hope it hits a home run. I think they do. I hope they do fantastic things with it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what it does and what it does for the brand and what it does for gaming in general. So it's going to be fantastic, I think.
Nice. All right. Well, that's enough on Xbox. Let's move on to last bit of news. Now, this one is a super rumor. However,
super rumor.
This little bit of news is only here to build you up, just to tear you down. It's so super that this rumor has made it into the top 3 news items for this week last minute. Just before we started the podcast, I was putting this together. You may have heard, may or may not have heard, that Bethesda, creator of massive hits such as Fallout, Elder Scrolls, a couple other games that were great, apparently, not The Evil Within, apparently are making a Game of Thrones video game.
Yes.
This news leak is said to have come from Target in the United States, who have advertised on their website a listing for Bethesda Game of Thrones. Now, is this rumour a leak of proof of a real game coming, or a troll's worth of bullshit? What do you think?
Only time will tell, won't it?
I think
Bethesda's got enough. But Bethesda's got enough there, engine-wise to really to build a Game of Thrones world. So it's not too far a stretch, really, when you think about it.
A popular tweet that was out on Twitter was that essentially, if it's Game of Thrones by Bethesda, it's going to be Skyrim with a mod so you can fuck your family.
Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Twitter.
Yeah. But anyway, just to burst your bubble, there's an update that we got from GameSpot here, and it states the following. It appears the listing may not in fact be genuine. We've been alerted to the fact that target pages can be spoofed, as evidenced by another listing that shows that reports to be a Game of Thrones project from Rockstar. So as such, a Bethesda developed Game of Thrones game may not be in fact on the cards, but we'll get back to you if there's any more information. But yeah, so I think this web listing was a troll.
Well, it got the internet talking.
It did, and so I think that
who knows, someone at Bethesda might have heard them.
If Australia's keen enough, we can spend millions and billions of dollars on a plebiscite and find out if people want a Rockstar or a Game of Thrones game by Bethesda.
Yep.
And hell, while we're at it, let us fucking marry same-sex family members.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, leave that one alone. Moving on. I've got a piece of news that I want to share. This is one solely from me because I doubt you care one little iota about this piece of news, but that's all right.
I'll just take my headset off. Headset off?
Just take your head off. Yeah, just put it on the bench.
Yeah.
Today we've had some information released, and it's up on the website, or up on the Facebook page, I should say, that South Park: The Fractured Butthole is coming to Australia in all its politically incorrect goodness. So no more crying koalas. It has been approved and rated in Australia with no censorship required.
What makes you think I'm not interested in this?
Because I know you're not a South Park fan.
What are you talking about? It's my favourite show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's shit.
Yeah, I know this.
No, it's all right.
I'm the more twisted one out of the two of us, so I know full well where the South Park.
Fuck, I prefer Rick and Morty.
Oh, and who does? Everyone loves Rick and Morty. But yeah, so no crying koala this time around, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that is good news. It's good news for Australia, and it's good news for the fans of South Park.
Yeah, well, to just to throw a bit more into it. So I've got some relatives overseas, and they actually bought me a copy of South Park Stick of Truth and sent it through to me. So I played a European version when that was originally out. So I never got to see the crying koala, and the bit that they actually censored was pathetic. Like, it was, I can understand, someone crying, going, "Oh, think of the children," but in the grand scheme of things, being South Park what South Park is, it wasn't that bad. So this time around, I think we do have the R rating there. We've got a few more people who are actually starting to do the censorship stuff that's actually, a bit more in touch with the current climate. So I think this can only be seen as a good thing for the gaming world going forward, and adults having that say, and people trying to understand that the adults do play games as well, and they do enjoy having a sick and twisted laugh.
Sounds good.
Sounds very good. So that's it. Yeah, so I thought I'd throw that in. That come across my desk today, and I thought I'd throw it in there for everyone to hear.
Nice one. All right, thanks for that, Snoogs. And with that, let's move into user-created content. Okay, so first up in user-created content, I'm going to go through a big list here of the people that liked the user-created content post on our Facebook page. Of course, if you do that each week, I'm going to list your name on the show like I'm about to do. And if you comment on it, we're going to talk about whatever your comment is. So the likes, starting at the top. Steve Buttigieg, David Stradere, Ross Mark, David Chataway, Reese Boyce, Rhett Oates, Tiana Warren, Ben Cross, Connor W. Langton, Mitch Ayer, Mitch James, bitch, Daniel D. Brendan Lambert, Zachary Courtney, William Bellman, Michael Lunt, got to pronounce that one properly, Martin Creamers. Thank you very much for liking our post there. We really appreciate that, and hopefully we get you guys across here to listen to the show. That'd be great. If you do listen to the show, let us know. Comment on the pinned post at the top of this week's post listing. You know what I mean. The podcast post at the top of the page for episode 184. And let us know that you're listening to this. Okay, well, let's go into the little comments here. The first one that commented on the user-created content was Ross Mark. He's a regular, and he says, with there being so many games available in this day and age, and some are quite long, complex, and grindy, what drives you to play and complete so many titles? And I've got an answer here, and I said, I love the variety of different games out there. Once upon a time, I played specific action-style games. That's really the only genre that I played. Stuff like Uncharted and stuff like that. And I never really played anything else I never played RPGs.
Yep.
I hadn't played Diablo 3. I hadn't played that until I played it. I think I was with you and Sean at that retro exhibition thing.
Yeah. At the Powerhouse Museum, yeah.
Yeah. They had it playing on a PS3 there. This was before the PS4 version came out. And I gave it a go, and I was like, this game's actually pretty cool.
Mm.
And then I got it when it came out remastered on the PS4, and I've now platinumed it and absolutely love the game. And that's the issue. Once upon a time, I was very closed-minded when it came to the games that I played. So now I've specifically with Aussie Games Express has opened up my eyes to a world of video games that I'd never really thought that I would enjoy, but have a lot of fun playing it. So there's a lot of variety out there. Even though you might be, I just like first-person shooters. I just play Call of Duty. If you try some games that you're not really that sure about, actually Red Dead Redemption is one of those games. I knew nothing about that game, and I thought, I'll give it a go. Only one of the best games of the century.
I'll give it a go, and 12 months later you start coming outside, 6-foot-long beard.
Yeah. So that's why I go and I play so many games, is because you never know what gems you're going to find. That's why I really enjoy the 3-minute or the 5-minute coffee break videos that I'm doing, because although not all of them, most of them are games I haven't played before. And there's one in the upcoming Season 3 of 5-minute coffee break, where after I did that 5-minute coffee break video, I went back and played a lot more of the game. I'm still playing it now. I found a little gem. That's why I like playing a variety of games, playing so many different games, because you find these hidden gems that you never would have known that you were going to enjoy. So that's my answer to that one. What do you reckon?
For me, it's the unknown. When it comes to a game that's engrossing in a story, and I again, my gaming habits have changed over the last years, and the responsibilities kick in, so I can't get lost in games like I used to, like Red Dead Redemption or Skyrim or even Gran Turismo, where I'd pretty much play that game just solely for months on a hand. But then, because we are very much blessed and we get to try a lot of games out, and we get our eyes opened to such a wider variety of genres, you do get to pick that occasionally something comes along which is absolutely breathtaking. And when we've got something that's breathtaking like The Witcher, just this world that's alive, that's beautiful, and just this in-depth story where I had this burning desire to have to know what happens. So I didn't put it down. So it just drove me through it. And then you flip it to something like The Division, where I've put over 500 hours, and I know compared to a lot of people out there, that's not that much. But I have this drive to be able to play it and have a character that's strong enough that's able to hold their own. And because it's a very math-based game where you've got to work out percentages, it works my brain in a completely different way that other games do. So that's why I get so drawn towards it, because I'm using, I'm not just switching off and watching pretty colours on the screen. I'm actually engaging myself and getting really right into it and working out exactly what I can do just for those little 1% changes that you can actually make, which then you go and walk into the dark zone by yourself and you can absolutely annihilate anything in there. So it's probably those two different things that drive me towards it. So whether it be just the story that grips me, or that want to have pretty much a perfect build, or to have that tweak and use your brain in a different way.
Yeah, awesome. Nice one. Thanks, Ross Mark, for that question. Appreciate
Thank you very much, mate.
Next comment on there was from Eloisa A. Mason. That's a badass cake. If that makes no sense to you whatsoever, go to the Facebook page. Have a look at the user-created content post. It's a mad cake. It's like from Borderlands, the cover, where it's got one of the psychopaths shooting himself in the head, and then it's got strawberries with the blood coming out. Go and have a look. It is a really cool cake. Ross Mark also commented, pointing out a typo that I made in the post. Yeah, very funny. Good on you. I made a mistake. I probably would have done the exact same thing if somebody else had written it, though. So I can't be mad at him, you fucking smartass. But also, James Pearson has asked a very good question. What would be your preferred length of game? Short story, 3 to 5 hours of gameplay. Medium length games with a bit more of an in-depth story, 5 to 10 hours of gameplay. Or a long, in-depth story with a bunch of side missions and infinite hours of gameplay. What do you reckon?
Depends on the game. Probably medium. 5 to 10, even 20 hours of gameplay for a good story. That's probably the limit for a story-driven game. If there's more involved in it, then fantastic. If there's more available to it, then that's just cream on the top, really.
Yeah. Look, I like a good 3 to 5 hour game, sort of like an indie platformer, like Little Nightmares and Inside, Limbo. I love that. 3 to 5 hours is plenty. And that sort of gives you the opportunity to play it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to sort of get a better understanding of what's actually happening in the game. But you're still only spending 20 hours. You're not spending fucking 150 hours replaying the game to find out all the secrets. Yeah. So I like that. I like a good 3 to 4 hour game. Medium length games, once again, I'd probably have to say, like yourself, that's probably where I'd prefer to be for an action game with a good story. A little bit different for Naughty Dog's games because they're generally a little bit longer. They're more 15 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just right, as long as the gameplay stays fresh. A 20-hour game for me, where it's sort of repetitive, it can be boring. So I do like it to be around that 5 or 10 hours. Yep. If you think of like Battlefield 3, I think that's a 5 or 6 hour campaign.
Yep.
Most of the Call of Duties are about 6 to 10 hours. I like that. I don't want them to be massive epics because we all know Call of Duty is a multiplayer game. It just happens to have a single player aspect to it. I want it short, I want it concise, I want it to be powerful, and I want it to be fun. I don't want it to be an epic.
The last COD that I played, which would have been one of the Modern Warfares,
right?
I punched through that story in one night in about 4 hours.
Jeez, wow.
Playing it on normal mode because I just got to the point where I got that engrossed in it that I was rushing. I could not stop. The heart rate went up. I was in a warfare. I was just got suckered that much into it. I just couldn't put it down. And I pushed through it in about 4 hours, and then got the shits for myself because I did push through it in 4 hours. But yeah.
Well, nice. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for all those questions. That's it. That's all we got for user-created content. Good questions there. Good suggestions. And thank you to everyone that liked the post as well. So, it's time for What's That Sound? Right. Snoogans, last week we had a sound from Repremier, and it was this one. That was the sound from last week. A long one. And we got 2 people who got the answers correctly, not including myself, because I'm a dead set legend. Paul Clement and Zach Courtney, they got it correct. Congratulations to those guys. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Sniper Elite. I was toying with which Sniper Elite. Do you remember?
I do.
I said Sniper Elite V2.
Mm-hmm.
That's not correct. It was Sniper Elite 3. But
nice.
We're paying that. Got to pay that.
No, Sniper Elite for sure.
Absolutely. So that gets me an extra point. And we don't really have a new sound for this week from Repremier because he had the hot little ball in his hands and he's fucking dropped it. But he's done so well in the past.
He has been crook as well.
He was sick, but he's better now, so no excuses. But anyway, we'll forgive him because I know he'll sort it out for next week. So I've taken the liberty of going and finding a What's That Sound, which means I'm off the cards. But if you can get it, Snoogs, you're still going to get a point. I can't get a point because I obviously know the answer. But if you get it, I'm going to give you 2 points.
That hard, is it? All right.
No, it's not hard. But I know you, so I'm not. I don't think you know the game. Well, you'll know of the game, but without look,
go on,
let's just
play. Let's go.
All right.
Damn it.
That's it.
Okay. You played again?
I can play it again, Sam.
Damn it.
Ooh. You've got half a clue by the sound of that. No?
I think I do.
Oh.
Damn it.
It's not something around the Conker's age, is it?
Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Hmm.
Nah.
It's not that sort of age. Because it kind of sounds like something that would be in the background on either Day of the Tentacle or there's the other one that they're remastering.
I can confirm it's not background. It's very much the foreground.
Okay. Well, then I'm not sure.
Damn it.
No.
Nah. There we go. Through to the keeper. If you're listening at home, wherever you are, and you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, then send a message to our Facebook page and tell us what the answer is. You could score yourself a free game. Still got a couple of Xbox One, Xbox 360 back compact codes to give away. So if you do want one of those, let us know. Or if you don't want a game, let us know. If you just want to answer, just make it easier. Yeah, I know what it is.
What is it?
None of your business.
All right. Next week's show.
Yeah, I'll fucking tell you after the show, so I don't have to beep it out. That's less work for me. I work smarter, not harder, thank you. Right, let's move into last words. What's your last word, Snoogs, before I kill you?
I still play the music in my head.
Oh, yep. Okay. Do you want it? I can play the music for you if you like. Yeah.
There you
go. For those wondering, the intro sounds that we play are added in post-editing. But Snoogans wants to hear it.
And this is still new for me, so I'm still playing the sounds in my head as they go along. Last words. I'm putting you on the spot. So I have a talking topic for user-created content next week for us to have a bit of a laugh about. So I'll put both of us on the spot to actually give us a bit of thought for this one. So have you ever fallen asleep during a gaming session?
Fucking oath I have.
And if you have, has it been in a party?
Fucking oath. Do I tell you now, or are we saving it for next week?
No, tell us now, and then we'll have a laugh through it next week with everyone else as well.
With everyone else's answers. All right. Well, it happened quite frequently, and Red and I used to talk about it and reference it a lot on the podcast. I would. What game was it that I was playing? Oh, I can't remember. But I would often fall asleep in doorways.
So I do remember that now.
Yeah. You probably heard it on the show where we'll be playing a game where it's co-op or whatever, and I would nod off, and like Red's like trying to go through a doorway, but I've nodded off, and my character is standing in the middle of the doorway, and he can't get through the doorway, and he's like, "Luke, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you there?" And I'm like, "Huh? And it became a thing where it was just a random thing where I would fall asleep in doorways, and my poor partners and shit couldn't get past me through the door. So yeah, that happened a fair bit and became a bit of a reference that we would make comments about. What about you?
Well, I'll save up one for next week. One particular game that I've fallen asleep through many times and scared the shit out of myself. But one of the more recent ones was The Witcher 3. So one of the first times, so it was late at night, sitting in the chat with everyone, and I'm thinking maybe even you were there at the time, but I was going from one part of the map. I was over on the Skellige Isles. So I was going from the main island. I had to go out to one of the smaller islands. So I was just in this little boat, and it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I've got the headset on. Everyone's chatting and whatnot. I'm just sitting there watching, and when you go to you're out. You're completely out, but you can hear everything that's going on. Yeah. So I was still looking at the screen. I was out of it, though. I had no idea where I was. So I'm just watching, the waves bob up and move the boat bobbing up and down, and the sound of the ocean going and blah, 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 blah. And then I must have started just breathing heavy, because next thing I know, Nick's yelling at me through the headset and cracking up. So, yeah, that was probably one of the times that I've actually done it in a chat party, at least.
Very good. I don't know. It kind of sounds familiar. Like I might have been there, but I'm not sure. I was probably asleep too.
Probably, yeah. We fucking nodded off. Yeah. So there'll be a post up after this comes out. So during the week, where jump on, have a bit of a laugh with us. Let us know your funny times of when you've fallen asleep. Gaming. That actually reminds me of. I don't even know what episode of the podcast. This was Aussie Gamers podcast. It wasn't Aussie Gamers Express back then. It was a famous interview that we were doing with a developer of a game who's actually still a good part of our community. There was your brother, Sean Thorncliffe, myself, and a couple of the other old school members of age. And Thorncliffe fell asleep during the interview. I do remember it. So and everyone had a good old laugh. I'll dig up the sound bite for that for next week's show, and we'll play it. That was a classic. And I'll let everyone know my other one, which is I still find hysterical remembering it back at these with what I actually did. So awesome. Look forward to it. I've got a couple of quick last words. Special shout out to Jack Crow for sending in his picture of the Battlefield 1 LAN setup. That's sort of in response to the other LAN photo that I put up that I stole from Reddit. Oh, sweet. Yep. And that's up on the page. He allowed me to share that. And it's getting some love too, because it's pretty cool. He's got 5 tellies all running Battlefield 1. With a LAN set up there, and it's he's turned it into a bit of a meme saying LAN party isn't dead, it was just in rest mode. Brilliant. So, well done. People still playing LANs, which is really cool. That's about all I got, man. Have you got anything else? No, I used to do 2 LAN parties a year with a whole group of people, and it was the reason I actually had an original Xbox, and it's what got me hooked on Halo. Because I was good for that. We'd go to a hall, and like a scout hall sort of thing. So it gives you an idea about the size of it. And there'd be 20 of us, and we'd play a round robin of Halo 5, and it'd start at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'd usually be driving home at about 2 in the morning the next day. It was just fantastic times. Yeah, love them. Good old days. But no, nothing else from me, mate. It's all good. All right, well then that's all I've got to say. That's last words. Let's wrap it up and say goodbye. Thank you very much to everybody listening, and a super special thank you to everyone that gets this far through the podcast. You know who you are, and we love you dearly. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys again next week. As always, I am Lucas. And I am Snoogs. See you on the next one. Thanks, Snoogs. See ya. That's it. We are finished for another week. We are packing up our bat and ball and we're going home. If you're keen for more content before the next show, then head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. And check out our website at www.aussiegamersexpress.com. We are also on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and every other social network that you can think of. Except that weird one that no one uses. You know the one. This podcast is also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. See you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.
Uncensored.